Good afternoon, class 7. Namaste and welcome to you all in my class. Dear students, this is my first class to you, isn't that? And in today's class, I'm going to support you with a scene text, a lesson from your textbook that is given in Unit 2. The topic of our lesson is Uncle Podger hangs a picture. Okay, we are going to read the text and try to grab the meaning of the text today in this class. Yes, let's go forward. Dear students, before starting the lesson, I like to talk about a little bit about the writer and about the text. Okay, I think it is quite visible to you, the projection here. If it is visible to you, you can see a book there. The book is entitled Three Men in a Boat. Exactly, this is a novel written by Jerome K. Jerome. And why is it necessary to know about this book is the lesson that we are going to read today. What was the title? Uncle Podger hangs a picture. That was the topic, wasn't that? This piece of text is taken or extracted from this book. This is the original book from where your text that we are going to discuss in today's class is taken out. What is the topic? Uncle Podger hangs a picture. And exactly that topic is extracted from this book, Three Men in a Boat. That is a novel written by Jerome Clapp Jerome. Okay, and the book Jerome Clapp Jerome, and he was from United Kingdom. We called UK. Okay, England, and it is written in English language, and its genre is comedy novel, and this text is also a piece of comedy. Okay, do not get confused. We are going to read a comedy today. And it is published by J.W. Outwith Smith. And the book was published in 1889. And before this book, here I have mentioned one more information. This book, Three Men in a Boat, was published or written after the writer had accomplished Three Men on a Bummel. Yes, this is what, now you are very much clear, I think. We are going to read a text today. That is a comedy. And that is written by Jerome Clapp Jerome. In short, we say Jerome K. Jerome. Right. And the author or the writer of this book, and this piece of writing is taken out from this book. Is it clear? So now let's move forward. Dear students, I think it would be better for you to know something about the writer too. Okay, I talked about Jerome K. Jerome and his work. I talked about two works. That was number one, that we are going to read about the text that is extracted from three men in a boat, and another that was followed by three men in a bumel. Isn't that? Let's know something about Jerome Jerome too. Yes, this is his photograph. This is the photograph of Jerome Jerome. And to talk about the writer, here I have brought some information. Jerome Jerome was born on 2nd May 1859. He was born on 2nd May 1859 in England. Okay, he was born in Caldmore, Walsall. When in 1859, and he lived for about 68 years and died in 1927. Okay, and his mother was Margaret Jones, and father was Jerome Clapp. His father's name was Jerome Clapp. Mother was Margaret Jones. He was born in England or United Kingdom, UK, on 2nd May 1859, and he lived for 68 years and died in 1927. And dear students, he had two sisters and a brother, but he was a very unlucky fellow. The writer was almost an orphan because his mother died when he was 13 years old. When the writer was 13 years old, his mother died, and after 2 years, it means when he was 15 years old, his father also died. Therefore, since the childhood, yes, he was an orphan, and he was taken care by his two sisters because his brother also died in early age. Remember that it is a very he spent a very sorrowful life. Remember, when he was 13 years old, his mother died. When he was 15 years old, his father died, and his brother also died immediately after his father's death. So although he was admitted in a grammar school, he could not continue his studies. The writer could not continue his studies because he had to earn for his living. More than that, his father invested in some mine industries, and it was the bad investment. He could not get any profit there. For that reason, they had to live a very poor life. Within poverty, he lost both father and mother. Isn't that? Therefore, he had to struggle himself for his survival. So he discontinued his studies, and he worked even in the railway stations, and later on almost for 4 years in the railway stations he spent his life, and he abandoned that too because that could not earn better for his life, and he again practiced some acting in the theaters because of the inspiration by his sister too. He practiced some acting too under the name Harold. He worked in the theater But later on, he was not satisfied with that. And for some time, he worked in the magazines as the news writer, although his wish was to be a politician. He wished to be a politician, but he left all his dream could not come to be true because of poverty and because of being alone. He lost his father and mother, brothers. For that, his life, the mood of life changed. And now, finally, he wrote Three Men on a Bummel. He got little success from that. Although he worked as a journalist, his articles, stories, essays that were published in the newspapers too, that was not much productive as his wish. Right. Later on, when Three Men on a Bummel came out, he got a little bit success there. And immediately after the publication of Three Men on a Bummel, he published this book. But perhaps it could be his masterpiece. For the reason it got immense success. The book became Three Men in a Boat, became excessively successful, and he earned a lot from this book. And then after, he contributed lots of satires and novels, stories, and so many other forms of writings, right? And especially his success initiated with this book, Three Men in a Boat. And this piece of writing which we are going to read, that is what Uncle Podger hangs a picture, is an extract from this. Okay, now with this I think that you are somehow clear about the book and about the text we are going to read, and you got some points about the writer too. So to revise all these things, let me say, the writer was born in United Kingdom. When in 1859, and how long did he live? For 68 years. And when did he die? In 1927. And his life was almost, he spent most of his life in poverty. He lost his father, his mother, his brother, and he was taken care by his two sisters, and he had to abandon his study, give up his study in a grammar school, and he started working in the railway station. The investment of his father in the local mine company was not beneficial. That was the bad investment, and he had to earn himself for his living. Later on, he worked as an actor too. He tried his best. He worked as a journalist too. Finally, he became a writer. And nowadays, we have many comedies, satires, novels, short stories written by Jerome K. Jerome. And among them, in today's class, we are going to read about Uncle Podger hangs a picture that is extracted from Three Men in a Boat. Okay, now let's start. Uncle Podger hangs a picture. This is the topic of the lesson. And in the story, this is a comical story. Okay, this is a comic. If you read it deeply, with a good understanding, you certainly laugh times and again. Okay, it makes you laugh. So it is a comedy. Let's start. Before starting, the major characters. The major characters in the story are Uncle Podger, the old man himself, and Aunt Podger, a boy and a girl, Will, Tom, Jim, Maria, Tim. These are the characters that are mentioned by name in the text. Uncle Podger, Aunt Podger, a boy, no name is given, A girl, no name is given. It is said a boy, a girl. And Will, the name is mentioned there. Tom, the name is mentioned. Jean, Maria, and Tim. These are the characters that involved in the story. Okay, now let's move forward. Dear students, this is the first paragraph of the text. If it is visible on the screen, on the projection there, you can look at here. If it is not clear in the projection, you can have your textbook. Okay, you can look at it there for your comfort. Right? My recommendation, if you have book with you, better to go with the book. That will make you more clear. Okay, let me read the text. When Uncle Podger did any work in the house, there was always such a commotion. The word commotion, it is difficult word. Perhaps you do not know the meaning of the word. The meaning is given at the bottom of the projection slide. Okay, the meaning: disturbance, uproar, and disorder. Okay. It means when Uncle Podger did any work in the house, there was always such a commotion. It means when Uncle Podger starts working in the house, he creates disorder there. The sentence says that Uncle Podger, whenever he starts any work, that creates commotion, that creates disorder and disturbance in the house. A simple thing like hanging up a picture would turn the house upside down. It means we are talking about, the topic is Uncle Podger hangs a picture. Isn't that? So we are talking about this. And this sentence also talks about the topic of the story. When a simple thing like hanging up a picture, do you think hanging up picture on the wall is a very difficult job? Almost it is not. It is a very ordinary job. You can easily fix a picture on the wall. But even while doing such simple works, right, he creates disorder. He turns the house upside down. What it says, upside down means inverted position. It means he creates lots of noise. He creates lots of disorders. Okay? And a picture came home from the frame makers. It was put in the dining room. Yes. A picture. It could be the picture photograph of his own, or it could be some scenery too. Anyway, a picture came to his house. And where was the picture kept? In the dining room. Okay? And when Aunt Podger asked what was to be done with it, yes, when the picture was kept in the dining room, curiously, Aunt Podger asked Uncle Podger, yes, why has this picture been brought? What are we going to do with this picture? Who asked this? Aunt Podger. Aunt Podger asked Uncle Podger why the picture was brought to the house. And Uncle Podger says, oh, you leave that to me. Don't any of you worry yourself about what I will do. Yes, it is my job. It is my job. I will do what is to be done with it. That is my job. You do not need to, nobody need to worry about the picture. I will solve, I will do what is to be done. That is my duty, my responsibility. Leave it to me. So, here is the question. You can be asked. What is the question? Look at the bottom if it is visible to you. What always happened when Uncle Podger wanted to do some work? This question can be asked even in the test. in your examination. Okay, what is the question? What always happened when Uncle Podger wanted to do some work? You come to the point now. When Uncle Podger wants to do something, right, he creates disorder, right? How did we read that? He always creates disorder, or he disturbs other people too. He does not do the work himself. He disturbs others too. That is what we have read in the first sentence. When Uncle Podger did any work in the house, there always he creates commotion, means creates disorder. Right? Is it clear? Yes. Now let's move forward. एक मिनट कति टाइम गयो 20 मिनट ओके लेट्स स्टप अब यसलाई क्लोजिङको पार्ट भन्छु अनि है ओके डियर स्टुडेन्ट्स इन टुडेज क्लास I discussed about the writer, about the text. You learned a little bit about his biography, when he was born, what did he do, how was his life, and you learned something about from where the text was extracted and what is the text about. We come to know about these points, and we also discuss about the first paragraph of the text. And let's stop here for today, and I will continue the lesson in the next video. Wish you all the best. Thank you.